Welcome everyone to another JDM racing video. We're here in France at Le Castellet for round 12 of this Formula 1 season, and we're about to go to track for qualifying Q1. I think practice we were a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest, but we were struggling to link up the sectors. It would not surprise me if we struggle in Q1 here. Piastri wasn't looking all that fast. We were all over the place. Completely missed the apex on the corner there. We come across the line just in front of Piastri. So, as you can see, Leclerc fronting the two Ferraris. They are quickest. Then we are down the back with our teammate. Not much pace for us around here. Let's hope we can do better in the race.
Hello and welcome from the Circuit Paul Ricard, current home of the French Grand Prix, an event dating all the way back to 1906. Now, it's been held at many venues over the years, with famous moments from Dijon and Manicourt, the feature of many a highlights reel. So let's hope we see more of those in the race today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Perez, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Norris, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, and Pierre Gasly, Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, Guan Yu Zhou, and Vettel. Russell, they've taken a grid penalty, Tsunoda, Valtteri Bottas, and Lance Stroll, Albon, Gardner, Oscar Piastri, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out.
So, Ferrari not able to maintain that dominance that they had in Q1 right through to the end of qualifying, but Ferraris and Red Bulls on the front 2 rows of the grid. They look extremely quick comparative to all the other teams today. We have just got to work our way forward. Does not look like we've got a lot of pace. Points would be a dream, but I think basically anywhere that we can get close enough to gain positions and get into the top 10, I think that's got to be the aim today. But yeah, just basically beating the teams around us. I don't think there's much else we can try and achieve. We get caught right in the middle of that sandwich. Piastri, we're trying to get out of the way of him and trying also not to get any front wing damage. Another little tap there, but I don't think we did damage the end plate or any of the slats on the front wing there.
Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power.
And also being told that the engine is on the outs as well, so trying our best to try and recover after quite a poor start. We managed to get round the outside of Piastri there and onto the back of the Aston Martin in front. Replay of the start then. Max Verstappen on the left, Carlos Sainz on the right. And Verstappen looked like he got a slightly better getaway there. And pulls out in front, tucks across. So it's Verstappen leading Sainz. And then Perez looked like he got third place consolidated. So Red Bull in control at the start of the Grand Prix.
Focus now for the rest of the race.
Rejoining the leaders, and Perez makes a move on Carlos Sainz to get Red Bull 1 and 2 in the race. Verstappen on the soft tyre, Perez on the medium. So it's going to be interesting to see how Red Bull's strategy works out going forwards. So a couple of nice little moves there as we overtake a couple of cars, but now we're coming up against the Haas wall in front. Let's see how we get on against them. While as back at the front, Sergio Perez on board with him right now. Chasing Max Verstappen down the DRS straight, and he goes around the outside and makes it stick. Oh, they almost touch. Perez goes through even on the medium tyre, so I don't know if that soft has outlived its usefulness, but Perez into the lead.
Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more.
So with the overtake on Ocon done, the task now is to hunt down Yuki Tsunoda in that AlphaTauri, and that's what we plan on doing as we skip ahead to the next lap, trying to get in that DRS range and see if we can vault past.
removal of one of the front wheels. They're going to be disappointed with that.
So a sticky front right wheel nut gives us a 5.1 second stationary stop, which is about 2.5 seconds over what we would normally expect to see. And I don't think that's hampered us too much, but if we were up the front, maybe that would have been extremely bad. But we'll try and regroup from here. It's definitely not helped in terms of when Tsunoda pits, because we were right on his gearbox, so we might be a little bit behind him when he rejoins after his pit stop, but we'll see how it pans out. And while all that was going on, just in front of us, Max Verstappen pits from second place with the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz directly behind him. And as we saw from when we had the pit stop, we saw Max just in front of us as we were coming through the pit lane. He got held up a little bit there, and the Ferrari definitely gained time. So Sainz a lot closer to Verstappen than he was when they came into the pit lane. So pit lane traffic not helping the Red Bull there, but Verstappen will rejoin with hopefully a clear track, and Sainz will tuck in behind. So Red Bull have found a gap and they've slotted him in. What is Perez going to do now from the lead?
Oscar is into the pit lane. Oscar in the pits.
So as we predicted, Tsunoda has rejoined and he's about 2.5 seconds in front, which is what we expected based on the problem we had with the front right wheel nut. And now we've got work cut out for us again to close that gap down to what we had it before the pit stops, try and get these points. So Tsunoda on the medium, and the car has been going better than we thought it would. So we've been pushing forwards, just got to keep going and see if we can close in on that top 10. Rejoining race leader Sergio Perez at the front of the race, pitting on that medium tyre. So he's elongated the first stint in the hopes that he would have enough pace to be able to come back out in front of his teammate on the what would be the overcut, I guess, and then have more pace at the end of the race on that softer tyre. So the advantage should be with Perez. Where does he come out? Has Verstappen been able to make inroads on those fresh mediums that he pitted for? Verstappen's just in the background there. So Perez has had an excellent stint on those mediums and has kept himself a decent gap with Sainz right behind as well. So it's still Perez from Verstappen, Sainz, Hamilton, and then Leclerc. So the top 5 quite close together, even at this semi-late stage of the race.
Okay, you've got 4 laps of fuel remaining. To drop back. There's a gap beginning to form. Let's make the most of it.
Rejoining and trying to overtake Ricciardo. He locks up. We go sailing into 9th place. trying to catch the other two cars in front of us. So not Verstappen, Ricciardo outbrakes himself and pretty much gifts us that position. We didn't have to work very hard for that one. Back towards the front on lap 12, Charles Leclerc in 5th place, closing Lewis Hamilton down on the DRS straight, sails up behind him, pulls to the outside, almost off the track, got the wheels on the white line there, almost out of bounds, but makes it stick. So Leclerc into 4th place, that's pivotal for Ferrari's championship as well as his own. Rejoining at the front then with Sergio Perez. He's run the perfect strategy today. He's outpaced Max Verstappen on merit. And Sergio Perez will come across the line to win the French Grand Prix for Red Bull Racing.
Wicked! Nice job, guys. Well done. Excellent result for the team.
Fantastic, Checo. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really amazing drive. That last stint was on fire. Well done, mate.
Well done, guys. Let's keep it up. Let's keep pushing. Plenty of more fun to have.
Rubber and bring it home. Victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance. So Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Sergio Perez then heading up a Red Bull 1-2, his 3rd win of the season, which is, I mean, the only victory that he's had since the first 2 Grand Prix after that really strong start. So he's been on a bit of a drought, but he's corrected that today with his superb drive, and Red Bull with the advantage going into Hungary in 2 weeks' time. Moving on to the results then, Sergio Perez with the victory, Max Verstappen following up 1.4 seconds behind. So he didn't pull out too far, Sergio Perez, on the softs, managed it till the end. Carlos Sainz with the fastest lap and the extra point, rounds out the podium. Leclerc bested by his teammate today, and he did get in front of Hamilton though to round out the top 5. Norris in the McLaren 6th, that's a good result for them. We come home 7th after starting from the back, which is a fantastic result. Alonso, Ricciardo and Gasly rounding out the points, so a couple of points each for those teams. Going into the bottom half, everybody finished the Grand Prix, which is fantastic. George Russell 12th, not going to be happy that he couldn't match Hamilton for pace. He got stuck down the grid. The qualifying probably did him there. Piastri 20th, couldn't match us for pace on the day. He was stuck down the back, but he did beat Bottas and Latifi. Moving on to the standings, Carlos Sainz with that podium is now top of the Drivers' Championship by 12 points, and Verstappen and Leclerc both on 184 points each. Perez with the win, closing in on the top 3. Ferrari 20 points ahead of Red Bull. Red Bull with that fantastic 1-2 have closed the gap. We're sat in 5th. Alpine 16 points behind us in 6th place. So the only thing that's left to say, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.